settle down, we'll be starting in a minute. Dear fellow youth leaders, Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and lovely children. A warm good evening to you all. I, youth leader Periyar YLP, welcome you all to the meeting number 5 of Periyar Toastmasters Club Youth Leadership Program 2022-2023. Before we move forward, I would like to recite the mission of our club. The mission of the Youth Leadership Program is to conduct the program based on the belief that every young person has the potential to become a good communicator and leader. But this potential needs to be developed. The program is uniquely designed to enable the youth leaders to develop their potential through practical experience. In the Youth Leadership Program, we do not discuss matters related to sex, religion, and politics. Before we start this interesting session, I would like to recite you to switch off your mobile phones or any other electronic gadgets, or put them in the silent mode to avoid any distraction during the meeting. Now it is my privilege to introduce the presiding officer for today's meeting. A passionate youth leader who is studying in the 8th grade of ISJ. He is from Andhra Pradesh and his hobbies are reading, research, football and coding. Please help me in welcoming our dear President of Periyar Toastmasters Club YLP 2022-2023 Youth Leader Krishna Pramod as the presiding officer of today's meeting.
First of all, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Ryan Jaffer, for such a motivating and amazing introduction. Parents, distinguished guests, and my fellow youth leaders, a zestful evening to all of those present here. The secret of a better and more successful life is to cast out those old, dead, and unhealthy thoughts. Norman Vincent Peale. There are plenty of hurdles that us humans have to face on a daily basis. And trust me, putting on a sad face won't speed up the process at all. Instead, it will slow it down and make other smaller problems seem bigger. Instead, put on a brave and smiling face and face all the hurdles you might have to face in the near-facing future. No matter how dark the day might be, no matter how bad the weather could be, no matter how lonely you might be, always remember, negative thoughts make things worse. So, stop thinking how dark that sky is. Think about how much darker it could have been. Stop thinking about how bad the weather is. Think about how much worse the weather could have been. Stop thinking about how lonely you are. Think about how much lonelier you could have been. Whenever you feel down or sad, just remember there are people in large companies working every day to get below minimum pay. If you're feeling sad for say you didn't get a present you wanted on your birthday, just remember there are people on the streets barely even surviving with shelter and little to sometimes no food. How would they compare to your large lifestyles? Positive thinking is a very powerful thing that can make or break your happiness. Today, our youth leader of the day, Youth Leader Aisha PCO, will be introducing her tenacious team of assignees who will be carrying the meeting forward in a smooth and seamless way. Over to you, Youth Leader of the day, Aisha.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer, for such an elevating and encouraging introduction. Dear Presiding Officer, fellow youth leaders, Toastmasters, and distinguished guests, a very warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Dear fellow youth leaders, the mind is everything. What you think, you become. There is truth in this statement. If you can control your mind, you can dictate the course of your life. You can either be held captive by your thoughts or set free by them. Whichever one you choose will determine the quality of your life. Watch your thoughts, for they become words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, for they become habits. Watch your habits, for they become characters. Watch your characters, for they become destiny. What we think, we become. Thank you. With this note, I will introduce my diligent team of assignees who will wisely guide us in building our today's meeting. I request you to hold your applause until all assignees are introduced. I invite Youth Leader Mehak Fatima to explain the word of the day in brief and her role from the podium.
Dear fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, a pleasant good evening to all of you. Today I have a dual role to play as your wordmaster and your grammarian. As your grammarian, I will carefully listen to your speeches and take note of the language and the good and bad usage of the language. As your wordmaster, to introduce a new word as the word of the day and explain the different usages of the word with proper illustration to enable us to expand our vocabulary. At the end, I will present my report when called upon by the general evaluator. The word of today's meeting is ecstatic. It is already displayed on the wall and agenda. The word ecstatic is an adjective. It means feeling or expressing overwhelming happiness or joyful excitement. The synonyms or similar meanings are euphoric, blissful, thrilled, and happy. The antonyms or opposite words are miserable. Now allow me to give some examples on the usages of this word. The student was ecstatic when he found out he received the highest achievable score on the test. They were greeted by the cheers of an ecstatic crowd. I was ecstatic at the news that I had been nominated for an award. I hope you all understood the word clearly, and please ask again in case you did not understand. I would request all speakers and the assignees to just go ahead and enjoy using this word accordingly. Thank you.
My sincere gratitude to Youth Leader Mehak Fatima for selecting such a nice word. I request all the speakers and assignees to use this word ecstatic as much as possible. Thank you, Wordmaster and Grammarian. To keenly observe today's proceedings, we have our General Evaluator, Youth Leader Mohammad Shalim. I will introduce him later in the evaluation segment. May I request Youth Leader Mohammad Shalim to acknowledge his presence and explain his role in brief.
My role as a general evaluator is to observe and evaluate everything from the beginning to the end of the meeting, and to lead a constructive evaluation session when called upon to do so. I will wrap up the entire proceedings of the meeting, complementing good practices and indicating the areas requiring improvement. Thank you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. To conduct the table topic segment, we have three table topic masters: Youth Leader Harshil Nishal, Youth Leader Roshan Shanwas, and Youth Leader Hayan Harris. I will introduce them at the table topic segment. May I request Youth Leader Harshil Nishal, Youth Leader Roshan Shanwas, and Youth Leader Hayan Harris to acknowledge their presence. Thank you, table topic masters. May I request Youth Leader Varshan Sandilraj to explain his role.
My role as law counsel is to listen to all the members and make note of some useless verbal touches, example up, etc., and report them when called upon to do so. To count the word used as unwanted pauses and fingers during speeches, such as and, but, etc., and report them as pauses and fingers. I will submit my report at the end of the educational session when called upon to do so.
Thank you, Youth Leader Varshan Sandilraj. Youth Leader Abid Ansar, can you please explain your role as a timer?
My role as a timer is to keep track of the time for all the speeches and the evaluation sessions. For prepared speeches, the time allotted for icebreaker speech is 4 to 5 minutes and international speech 5 to 7 minutes. A grace period of 30 seconds is allowed on either side. For table topic speakers, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on the higher side. For prepared speech evaluators, the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes with a grace period of 30 seconds on the higher side. For table topic evaluator, the time allotted is 30 seconds for each speaker and for overall evaluation is 30 seconds. I will report the exact time taken by each participant by the end of each session when called upon to do so. Over to you, youth leader.
Thank you, Youth Leader Abid Ansar. Joke Master Youth Leader Fadi Rahman, can you please explain your role?
My role as a joke master is to relax everyone from the speeches. And that's it.
Thank you, Youth Leader Fadi Rahman. Fellow youth leaders, please let us put our hands together to give a big round of applause to all our assailants. Thank you. Our meeting will have 4 segments. To start with the workshop session, prepared speech segment and table topic segment, followed by evaluation segment. Now let's start out the first segment with workshop presentation. Our first educational workshop is on the topic Art of Listening. A humorous speech champion speaker and past president of the Periyar Toastmaster Club. Help me welcome DTM Video CR to the podium, please.
Good evening, dear youth leaders, parents, distinguished guests, lovely children, and my friends and Toastmasters. Warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
I'm so ecstatic today to stand in front of the most vibrant and the beautiful personalities in this hall, dear youth leaders. I'm so happy and ecstatic today. I'm DTM Bijusi, and I would like to speak about what is the importance and what is the art of listening. Dear youth leaders, I'm famous for a good listener. Do you know this? But it's said by the most popular person in my life. Is none other than first person is my wife. She's sitting there. So the parents, the husbands, naturally every husband should have a better listener to survive in life, isn't it? So the first person is that. Second is my daughter. Why is important listening there? For good parenting, as a parents, we should be a better listener. So third is my own dear friend who is here, DTM Shivadas. He knows that I am a better listener. He is also satisfied because in the friendship, to maintain the friendship, you need to be a better listener. And finally, my boss and my colleagues. For successful career or to be better in career, you should be a better listener. So altogether, before starting the listening session, I would like to say that for a better leader, if you want to become a better leader and better communicator, definitely you should be a better listener also, isn't it? So here, let us start from what is listening. Listening is a magnetic and most efficient quality of a person to transform him or her to a leader and communicator. Why it is vibrant? Let us go to in depth about it. As by God creates us with how many years? How many years we all have? Years?
2 years.
2 years. Everybody have 2 years, huh?
No.
No? You don't have 2 years? Yeah, you have to. 5 years. Very good, very good. Just show to uncle on the 5, huh? And what about how many mouths we have? One mouth. So there itself, by God create us to listen more through more years, that is 2 years. And what is a good name? What is a good name? Alok is having 5 years. So we have more years to listen more and speak less than from with one mouth. So by this, what we understand that we have to listen more and speak less. It is a quality of a better communicator and a leader. Why it is so? When you listen, you will learn something from the other who is speaking against you. But when you speak, keep on speaking, we speak only what we know. Are you agreeing with me?
Yes.
When you learn something, when we listen something, we learn from, if I speak to you, when you listen, you will understand something from me. So it is vice versa. So that is important by default. Everybody is bound to listen more and speak less so that we can become a better leader and better communicator. So here, let's go to So we will talk about today what is listening, then what is listening and what is the difference between, sometimes we may say that I hear about it, I listened about it, but both are equally different. It's not equal, it's different. Like what is hearing and what is listening. We'll come into the detail in the next slides. And what is the purpose of listening? What is the benefit of listening? That we can see that. And further, we can go, what is the steps? What is the sequence in listening? Then, what are the barriers? What are the hindrances? What are the barriers in listening and how to overcome that listening that we are going to discuss today. Okay? So, let's go with what is listening. So, once we heard a lot about the listening, hearing. So, what is listening? So, one word if you say that, it's a skill. It is a skill. So, what is skill? Then can anyone say what are the skills the individual have? Can you say what are the skills? Other than listening, you can say any of the skills, then you can understand what it is. Skill. Can anyone say? Speaking. Speaking, exactly. Very good. Give a big round of applause to it. Then what is the other skills? Writing. Who has told that? Very good. What is your good name? Radhin. Okay, very good. Congratulations, Radhin. So, like that, speaking, reading, writing, dancing, singing, these all skills we can achieve through practice. Like that, listening is also a skill and we can practice and learn to acquire that. That is the first. Second thing, give attention to a sound. If I speak to all youth leaders, once you are giving attention to me, that's where you are listening to me. If I am speaking to you and you are seeing to other side, then that means you are not listening. So you have to pay attention to the speaker who is speaking to you. Third is, make an effort that you have to purposefully put some effort to listen. That means you are sitting, not sleeping. You are sitting and looking in front of, looking to me, and whatever I am speaking, you are hearing. So you are putting an effort. Then listening is a conscious activity. Why it is conscious? Suppose we all are sleeping up during night, we will sleep. If somebody can listen during sleeping, any sound happens. Unless it is a big bang sound, we can suddenly we will come out from the sleep and we will listen. Otherwise, if normally somebody is speaking, can we be able to listen that? No. So that is a conscious activity. And finally, that's a process of receiving and interpreting the spoken words. Why it is? It's a process. There is a sequence. We'll come into the detail in the next slides. How it comes into a listening process that we will learn into the coming slides. Okay. So as I said, we always misinterpret this hearing and listening is same. But it is totally different. Why? Because hearing is an ability. Ability means by default, God has given as an ability to listen. That is, you can see sound comes to our eardrum, it will vibrate and we will feel that sound has come, so we will listen. That's automatic. By default it will come. That is the ability, that is the hearing. It is an involuntary. Once our ear is having the capacity to receive the sound, even if we don't like also, the sound will come to us and we will read that. We will have that sound. And third is effortless. We don't want to put anything effort. Even if we are half sleeping or half mind, still some sound is there, we will listen. So there is an effortless activity, that is hearing. And it's a physical process. Once your ear is having the capacity to get that voice or read that voice, that means you have, it's a physical process. And it's a passive activity. You are not directly involved in hearing. This is automatically coming to your ear and you are hearing this. This is the hearing, we can say. That is that it is coming to your ear, automatically the sound is coming to that and you are having the feeling that that voice, that is a hearing. And once it is come to listening, as I said in the beginning, it is a skill. You have to practice that skill and develop to become a better communicator and better leader. So here, it's a voluntary action. Why? Because voluntary, you are here as youth leaders. So it is your voluntary, your interest to learn something. You want to become a better leader and better communicator, isn't it? So you are voluntarily come here and join this Toastmaster program, YLP program in Periyar, and you want to become a leader and communicator. So this is a voluntary activity. So that's why you are listening what I speak to you. Second is focused. If somebody want to listen, means you have to be focused. Give attention to that. Then only you will be receiving what the message was given to other. And then it's conscious thing to listen. That means your effort is very particular or conscious effort you are putting to listen that. And finally, it is an intentional process. That means if you want to listen by default, it cannot happen. You should have the interest or you should have the voluntary action, then only that matter will comes to read your mind. So that is it. And finally, and next is the purpose. Why this listening is required? You may think that if I did listen for some time or to someone, what will happen? It will affect you. It will have some consequences to you. Why? Because listen is always, as I told you, once you listen from other, you will learn something new. So, listen is always essential to understand or to learn. And listen to inspire. Why? In most of the situations, a lot of emotions comes to our mind and we will be having some sad moments or some depressive moment. But once you want to inspire ourselves, you have to listen for some time. Some person, everybody is having something motivating effect on sometimes. What is your inspiration for you to cheer up you? Music, yes, exactly. So once you listen that music, you will get cheer up. So you need to have the listening quality to inspire. That is the importance. And listen to communicate. Once I want to speak to you, I have to listen first. Then only I can able to speak to you. If somebody, there is an example. One of my grandmother, she's still alive. When I talk to you on phone, she keep the phone on the table and put in the speaker. She never listen what I speak. She will keep on speaking to me on the phone, and whatever I speak, she never read that because she don't know in the phone, in the mobile, that is a both-way communication. And she always, whatever want to speak, she will continuously speak, and she told, okay, that's all. She will cut the phone because she don't want to listen from others. It is not her fault, or in the normal conversation, she is very good in listening, but in the phone, she keep on the speaker phone and she keep on speaking, and she will never listen what I speak. So, and as I said, as a small example, this is we should be listener for a better communicator. Okay, and listen to love. Once you want to have affectionate with our family, with our friends, in the social relationship, you have to be a better listener. And listen to leader. So leadership in the quality should be environed by everyone in this world to have the successful life in the personal relationship, family relationship, in the professional relationship, everywhere, you want to lead, you have to be a listener. Then only you will understand many situations or problems from others. Then you can give the solutions and you will become a good leader. And listen to maintain the relationship. To continue that relation, you have to continue to maintain the listening quality. Okay? Here, then I told there is a process. In the content initially I told you, what is the listening? It's a process. Process, how it is happening? It is automatically happening. We are not doing anything purposefully or we cannot able to see. But practically what happens? Listening. Listening means once you receive the sound, what is your good name? Good name? Ryan. Ryan, how do we listen? First I told here it is receive. How we receive the sound?
We should listen very carefully. Example, when my father says the points of icebreaker, I need to listen it very carefully.
Yeah, very good. Congratulations. So once you receive some message, it will come into our ear. Our ear is having the what is that side? That means whatever is coming, it should go into our eardrum to listen. So it comes in that. Then our mind will start acting. Will understand that message will go from the eardrum to our brain, and it will have a process. We will understand what I heard about it. Then there is an evaluation or analysis happens in our mind. It is unknowingly or it's by default, it's automatically it happens. If when I speak to you, you hear it, then it goes to your mind, it's getting an process into your mind, and it finally it will come as a feedback. So I asked Mr. Ryan, youth leader Ryan, about how this message comes to you. As you said that your father, when you speak to you, you will give attention to him and get the message. So, and this is the feedback I get. This is a feedback. Once we communicate with the others, you should give the feedback. The feedback in the organization point of view, in the professional life also, you should be able to open to the feedback for a better leader. For a better leader, you have to be very positive in receiving the feedbacks. Whether it may be positive, it may be the negative, but you have to open to the feedback for a better leader. Okay? And finally, there is a barriers of listening. What are the barriers? What are the hindrances? What are the stoppages? What will stop you listening? Or what will make you distract from listening? What are the things? Lack of interest. Lack of interest means I am speaking to you. If you are not interested to become a leader and communicator, you are getting bored. So you will be leaving other side. So you will not receive what I speak to you. But you are very good youth leaders having very good passion to listen. So you are all looking at me. So you are not in this category. You are having more, very good interest and very good attention and multitasking. Multitasking. See, there is a picture shows. If I speak to somebody scrolling flipping on the mobile, or speaking to someone, or speaking to or seeing the movie, so like that, if you distract him from the attention to receive the message, there your listening will become improper and noisy surroundings. When I am communicating to you, I am speaking to you because the hall is having pin drop silence. So this is also very essential for a listening process. Okay, then it is interruptions. So interruptions, if everybody is sitting and listening and speaking, if somebody is going here and if, tracking the chair or falling down something, so this type of happens during conversations. So definitely your listen will distract. And partial listening. Partial listening means when we talk, even in the classes, it happens sometimes. The teachers, parents will be knowing about it. If the teacher is taking the class, when some 50% is completed, you listen whatever it is, and then you get sleepy and you slept in. You will get the information what you were attentive. That message only you will get. But the remaining portion you will be blank. So partial listening there it is, and language problem. So now here I am speaking to you in English. Okay. So it's a common language, everybody can understand. But my mother tongue is Malayalam. If I speak in Malayalam, so very few people will understand, isn't it? So it should be a common language so that everybody could understand. Otherwise, we should have some interpreter or to be there to communicate that for listening. So language is also a barrier. And intolerance. Intolerance means my timing is for the workshop given by YLP coordinator 20 minutes. So if you are unable to withstand with this 20 minutes, after 15 minutes, oh, this is not going to complete. So you will get intolerance feeling. So then you will have an automatic mind that you will not listen what I speak to you. So that is the intolerance. Now, to overcome this barrier of listening, how we can overcome? How if everybody is having this some of the occasions, we will be likely to get into some barriers in listening. So what it is? How we can come across? You have to pay attention to the person who is speaking. You are paying attention to me. That's why what I am speaking to you, that you are reaching to. So pay attention and minimize distraction. As the minimize distraction means, if now the call is having pin drop silence, everybody is looking at me. Whatever I am speaking to you, it is coming to you. That means you are having the less distraction in the whole in the environment, so that the message is coming to you rightly. You are listening properly and ask questions. So I asked some questions to you. So you reply to me. That is also a feedback. So this is also a very good in communicating or communicating to you. That equally you are listening. That's why you are giving feedback. Once you are not listen what I speak to you, you cannot give any feedback, isn't it? So that is it. And eye contact. Eye contact is most important. If I speak to you, some that initially for every youth leaders, I'm sure that even I am as a Toastmaster at the beginning. When I come to the dais, I used to speak like that because I have a fear. Everybody is having the fear on the stage to look at the eyes of everyone. But you will overcome this. After this YLP program, I'm sure that you will, when you speak to someone, you have to look at the eyes of the person in front of you. So that makes you confident. Even if when I speak to you, if I look at the eyes of everyone, your confidence will enhance. Equally, when you are a good listener, you have to have the proper eye contact. So that is also important. And finally, prioritize listening over speaking. So we have to prioritize what is going to listen. We will listen first, then we will speak. So that is also a process we have to develop this. So listening is an important quality to become a better leader and better communicator. So I'm sure that you will become a better leader. And dear youth leaders, you should be a better leader and better communicator. You can become if you are a good listener and speak those who speak like those who love to listen to you, and listen like those who love to speak to you. That means I am interested to speak to you. I am so excited today because I love to speak to you. And you are so interested to listen me because you are focused and you want to listen my speech. That's the thing. So with this note, thank you so much. Any questions, please ask to me regarding this listening. If anything, please come to me. Yeah.
Like you told solutions for almost all the barriers,
Yeah.
but you didn't tell the solution for language.
Language here, we have received communication. Very good question. So how we will overcome the barrier? Suppose we can see that in United Nations, every leaders doesn't mean that they all are knowing the English language as a common or some other language also. But there what happens, when you give the speech, there is instant translation happens on the headphone through the individual language. Suppose you are an Hindi understanding or speaking person, it will convert into, translate into Hindi and it will come to you. Why? Because whatever I am speaking to you, if there is a common language understandable to each other, you will listen. That's why I speak to you. If I speak in Malayalam, many of them may not understand. Then there is a translator required to translate it. So that is also a barrier. So we have to overcome that also. With this, anything? Yes.
Actually, the common barrier nowadays is
mobile, yeah.
So what kind of recommendation would you like to give to the leaders, particularly when they're talking to teachers, parents, or students, how to manage this not to get distracted.
Yeah, very good question. Thank you. Now the current scenario is very important. In some of the situations, we even see that in our home, if some of the guest comes, we have a TV serial is ongoing, or mobile is watching some by the parents, or maybe some of the relatives or the kids. They never stop flipping or stopping the TV, which normally nobody does. But to respect somebody is speaking in front of you, because this is every relation. I told it should be continue with the mutual respect. So somebody is speaking to you. If you still seeing or flipping the mobile, that means you are not giving the respect to that person speaking to you. So here, normally in my home, I used to feel that. I used to do that. If somebody, a guest comes, immediately we will switch off the TV. Then that means we give the respect to the person. Or if we have chatting on the mobile, we will stop the mobile. Even if in the cabin, in the office, if someone comes to in our cabin to meet us, if you see on the mobile, definitely it is a disrespect to that person. So here, we have to respect that maintaining the mutual respect. We have to stop that distractive activity and we have to focus on it. So kids, when you have this electronics media is very good in excelling your life, but you have to use it very wisely. Okay? Okay, thank you. Any more question? Did this? Thank you so much. Back to
Thank you, DTM Biju CR. Thank you, DTM Biju CR. I would like to call Manoj and Vishwada Sangal and the presiding officer to come to the podium.
Just I want to say a few words about Biju because we started our Toastmasters career in 2013, isn't it, Biju? And I sponsored Periyar Toastmasters Club this gentleman, and now we are big friends, like bros. And one more thing I want to highlight here is that currently my son working in his company, so we have a lot of togetherness each other, and he's better half. I want to say something like that. She represented Periyar Toastmasters Club in district because she is a humorous queen in Jubel fraternity. She won first place in club level, first place in area level, first place in division level, and she went on district level. Manju, please join the podium. So, how was the presentation from DTM Biju here? Is it nice? Yes. So, as a token of appreciation from Periyar YLP team, just please, President, hand over the please. Thank you so much, Biju and Manju, and thank you. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Back to both of you.
Let's start our second segment with prepared speeches. I would request every icebreaker and international speaker not to take their paper with them while coming to the podium. It's okay, don't worry. With good practice, you can speak without looking at the paper. Our first speaker was Youth Leader Aban Mohammed. With some inconvenience, he wasn't able to join. Now let's move on to the second speaker. Is Youth Leader Rida Fasmin. Youth Leader Rida Fasmin will deliver her icebreaker project. Since all the icebreaker speeches have the same objectives, may I request Youth Leader Samar Shemir to explain the objectives of the icebreaker project. Thank you, Youth Leader Samar Shemi. Help me welcome Youth Leader Rida Fasmi. Parental love, Youth Leader Rida Fasmi. Youth Leader Rida Fasmi, Parental love.
Parental love is the only love that is truly selfless, unconditional, and forgiving. Youth Leader of the Day, coordinators, distinguished guests, a very warm good evening to one and all.
Good evening.
On 20th March 2010, when her mother was supposed to write her university final examination, she forced her to change her plan. She came into this world and she did her exam later. Do you know who that girl is? That girl is myself, Rida Fasmi. My native place is Nilambur, a place which is famous for teak wood. We have many tourist places related to teak. My father's name is Nizar and my mother's Sajida. I have two brothers and one sister. My elder brother, Sanin Nizar in India, he is a 12th class student. My sister, Nida Nazmin, in 3rd at Jubail International Indian School, Al Jubail. My younger brother, Shazin Nizar, he is just 2 months old. My father has been working in Sabic Athletic Company for last 8 years. My mother is a science graduate with a bachelor's degree in education, but enjoys being a wonderful homemaker. At the age of 4, I was admitted to the kindergarten of Guidance Public School, Nilambur. Being my first day, I was ecstatic. On the next day, I forgot my ID card. And while coming back from the school, I missed my bus because the driver couldn't identify me. And my grandmother became nervous and began to cry. This incident made me very conscious about my ID card and its importance. I was very happy to have my grandparents and my early childhood. My grandfather used to help me get on the bus. He always advised me the value of education. My parents are too closely with their parents and treating them very politely. That is the example that I want to follow in my life. When I switched from India to Saudi Arabia, I started by UKG. I was very bored. But after a few months, I started to enjoy the beauty of Saudi Arabia. I found new friends and understood the importance of diversity here. I have friends from different districts of Kerala and from different states of India. I learned to speak Hindi and a bit of Arabic. I also got a chance to learn abacus in Muslimas Jubail. In short, life in Jubail gave me many opportunities in life. I am very interested in sports and games. My hobbies are watching football and singing. I am a Brazilian fan and my favorite player is Messi and Neymar. 3 years back, we finished the construction of our dream house and shifted to it. It was a result of hard work done by my parents. When I grow up, I want to support them as they supported their parents and legacy to be followed. I'm a 7th grader now and I will be shifted back to India after my 10th grade. I'm preparing myself for the new change. My ambition in life is to become an IAS officer and I have my own plans for that. My dream is cooperation and poverty-free in India. I believe no dream is too big and no dreamer is too small. Being a candidate in YLP, I am confident that this program will give me the courage to find my dreams and to achieve it. I would like to express a sincere thanks to the organizers and my mentor Shivadas uncle. Thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Rida Fasmi. Our third speaker is Youth Leader Ahlam Zahra. Youth Leader Ahlam Zahra will deliver her icebreaker project. Help me welcome Youth Leader Ahlam Zahra. Right person, right time. Youth Leader Ahlam Zahra. Youth Leader Ahlam Zahra. Right person, right time.
Paint a picture of a 4-year-old in a dark, plum, mystique night. She was frightened, yet she paved her way through the street, through the dimly lit, desolate street, with the winds howling louder than the silence. The trees shed naked and the cars sat on the curb, collecting dust. There was no sign of life. What will she do? Why was she here? The quest will be answered. Respected Toastmasters, DTM Shivadas Uncle, distinguished guests, parents, and all my dear fellow youth leaders, I wish you all a very good evening. Out of 8 billion people alive today, 127,464,471 were born on 16 July 2008. And all of them being 14 years old, 5 months old, and 2 weeks old right now. And today, you guys are fortunate enough to meet one of them. And that is me, Youth Leader Ahlam Zahra. Born as the first child to my 2 lovely nurturing parents, my mom is a doctor, a gynecologist in the general hospital, and my dad, Dr. Shajat, is a cardiologist in the same hospital. Though I enjoyed 4 years of complete attention and love from my parents, but as they say, everything has an end. So it had to end, and I welcomed my 4th member in my family of 3, being my little sister, Ahana. I enjoyed being the elder sister, but what I wasn't aware of were the perks that came with it. I didn't realize I had to share my toys, my time, my snacks, even my room, and my parents with her. I was furious, but little did I know, it was just the start. 7 years later, I welcomed my little brother, Amar, who is 3 years old now. But now, I am happy that I am not alone to suffer. I have my sister with me. I belong to the paradise on earth. The snowfall during the winters, picturesque and enchanting. The rivers flow through the mountains and hills. And in summer, the snow melts, the flowers blooms in the meadow, just like an artist's canvas. Any guesses?
Kashmir?
Correct, it is Kashmir. Even though I wasn't born there, I still feel connected to it. I was born in the northwestern region of KSA, Al Jove. I spent 4 years there, went back to my hometown, stayed there for 3 years, and came back here finally, still to KSA, but a different city, Al Jubel. I've been here for 7 years and I look forward to staying here more. All throughout my life, I've had many experiences, many friends, many cultural shocks, and what I've learned is the importance of the right person at the right time in your life. Connecting back to where I started, as wild as it sounds, right now that I am standing here, present, in front of you, wouldn't have been a reality if that one person hadn't rescued me when I was 4 years old. Flashback to 2012. I was 4 years old and my dad went to pick my mom up from her duty. It was a night shift and she was coming back. My father told me to stay inside, hand me a candy, kiss me goodbye on the forehead, and I was all set. 5 minutes after he left, I realized that he had forgotten his wallet at home. And being the obedient daughter that I am, I decided to walk to the hospital, which was 30 minutes away from my house, alone, at night. I wasn't afraid. But because I remembered where the hospital was, so I was confident that I'll go there. And mind you, alone, I opened the door. I didn't even mind wearing my slippers. I ran with my toy and I just was like, I'll go to the hospital and give him the wallet. 2 to 3 right turns and I realized that I was lost. It was night. No one was there. I thought maybe my father would be coming home at that time when he would be like, this is the wallet, okay, you forgot it. But no, I cried. I was alone. And then I under this light pole tree, and I was like, okay, this is the same way my father will come this way and we'll go together home. But what I hadn't realized is I saw one man coming towards me who was 6 feet tall, and he was like, I'll take you home. I was scared, but I didn't want to be left alone there, so I was like, okay. And then he took me, and I realized that he was taking me to my home. Questions arised. How did he know where I lived? How did he know me? Did I know him? And then I realized that was my mom's colleague who was going to relieve her in the hospital. I saw my mom. She statically came towards me running, hugged me, and everyone was relieved. You might be thinking, what's the point of the story? How does it connect? The point is, I'm here delivering my icebreaker. I'm here because the person rescued me. Otherwise, I would have gone somewhere. And right now, looking back, I'm amazed by how important it is to be there. Each one of you standing here, sitting here, has a purpose. You might not acknowledge it, but time will show itself. Over to you, youth leader, Aisha.
Thank you, youth leader. Thank you, youth leader Ahlan Zahra. Our fourth speaker is youth leader Rayan Jafar. Youth leader Rayan Jafar will deliver his icebreaker project. Help me welcome youth leader Rayan Jafar. Fear regret more than failure. Youth leader Rayan Jafar. Youth leader Rayan Jafar. Fear regret more than failure.
When the sun sets and the moon came up, I came to this beautiful world. Respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, and dear guests, a very warm good evening to you all.
Good evening.
My name is Rayan Jafar, and I was born at Almana Hospital in Fanatir. I am the second child of my family. Me and my sister lived in peace and freedom until a baby boy was born. He's Rishan Jafar. He's my little annoying brother. He studied in 3rd grade. My family has 5 members. My father, who is a mechanical engineer, his name is Jafar Poilil. My mother, who is a homemaker, her name is Sarida Kelly. My sister, who is studying in the 8th grade, her name is Rodrina Faiza Meher. My little brother, who is studying in 3rd grade, his name is Rishan Jafar, and me, who is studying in 6th grade. My father's house is located at a city which is also known as the City of Gold. It is Kodvalli. It is located 22 kilometers east of Kozhikode in Kerala. Kodvalli is one of my favorite cities. My mother's house is located in Wayanad. It is located in Wayanad, Kanyametta. Wayanad is special for its nature. Wherever you look, you will see green plants and trees. My hobbies are playing football, badminton, and reading books. Football is my favorite sport. I play it every day. My favorite player in football is a footballer who started football in 2005 and now owns 7 Player of the Year awards and 1 FIFA World Cup. Can anyone guess who it is? Yes, obviously. Messi. It's Leo Messi, obviously. Messi is my favorite player. I like him so much. Last time in the FIFA 2022 finals, World Cup 2022 finals, I, Youth Leader Radhi, Youth Leader Fadi, Youth Leader Abdullah, were ready to celebrate. We were about to throw our flags down when Montiel was ready to take the last penalty. He shot it in the left corner through the ground, and I was like crazy. The house looked like a fish market, full of things lying on the ground. Me competition now went crazy and we looked like gorillas in the forest. Jumping from there and here we jump like in the sofa. It was my best moment of my life. Messi fulfilled his dream. He lifted the trophy up in the air with his teammates. About reading books, I have read a lot of books. You may ask my sister. I have read Wimpy Kid, story books, etc. Books give us an idea about the world. That when you read about history, you will see what happened in the past, World War II, and flu, etc. It also helps us in geography, how we know about the earth. I have read a lot of books, and now I read books all the time. My ambition is a football player. Once I played a tournament. It was exciting, this is actually the word of the day. It's an exciting moment of my life. I was so excited. But the thing is, I couldn't win the tournament. Everyone is saying, at least we tried. You know why? Because it's my topic. Fear regulates more than failure. We need to fear never trying. We fear it. And instead, we need to fail. When we fail, we'll be able to succeed. I'm concluding my speech, and I'm saying that if someone says you, when you do things and you're not able to succeed, when someone says you, haha, you shouldn't even try. You say, at least I tried. He will say like, you shouldn't even try it. You should stay without trying. You will say, at least I tried. When we try, we succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Rayan Jafar. Now, let's move on to international speech. Our first speaker is Youth Leader Arvind Sinjo.
20 minutes.
After this, okay?
5:20 we can take a break.
Yeah, 5:20?
Yeah.
Arvind Sinjo will deliver his international speech. Since all the international speeches have the same objectives, may I request Youth Leader Rida Amaira to explain the objectives of the international speech project.
International speech objectives of the international speech: inspire the audience by appealing to noble motives and challenging the audience to achieve a higher level of belief and achievement. Appeal to the audience's need and emotions using stories and quotes to add drama.
Thank you, Youth Leader Rida Amaira. Help me welcome Youth Leader Arvind Sinjo. Crisis of our world. Youth Leader Arvind Sinjo. Youth Leader Arvind Sinjo. Crisis of our world.
This crisis is not out there in the world. It is within our own consequences. Good evening, respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, and distinguished guests. I am Arvind Sinjo. Today, I am gonna present my international speech. So let me move on with. First of all, let's start out. I am going to talk about poverty. Poverty is one of the most disturbing things in this world. Poverty is the state of having few income or little few material possessions or little income. Poverty can have diverse social, economical, and political and political causes and effects. Many people suffer because they cannot afford to have shelter, buy the food they need, and the clothes to wear, and many other life essentials. More than 1 million people have died due to poverty, and many kids our age do not get education due to poverty. From our side, we can try to stop poverty by donating money to people who need it, and by giving food to food containers for poor people, etc. So moving on, let me come to diseases. All of us are familiar how diseases affected our life due to the pandemic, right? Like staying all the time indoor, not playing or going out with our friends, not going to offline school, even though some of us enjoyed it. And so one of the reasons I got this glasses because of the pandemic. Our relatives, friends, and many other people, even we sometimes suffer from diseases, various kinds of diseases. Dirty water, animal or insect bites, unhealthy food, climate, etc. causes diseases. Diseases diseases not only affect us physically but also mentally. We can prevent ourselves and others from diseases by covering our nose while sneezing, or by eating healthy food and drinking hot and purified water, etc. So, moving on, let me go to racism. Racism, no one can tolerate racism. It creates divisions and disharmony, right? So, it creates divisions and disharmony. Racism is often based on the social perceptions of biological differences between people. I don't even know that, but I just stuck up with that point. Whether your skin color, your body features, life status, religion, gender, etc., or if anyone mock you with these things, it is known as racism. Okay, in many places of the world, racism occurs. Even in our own country, even in our own country, caste system was followed until Dr. Ambedkar. Until Mr. Ambedkar or Dr. Ambedkar entered it, but still it exists in most parts of the country. We can call racism as prejudice or discrimination, etc. So moving on, let me come to solutions for racism are: we can tell that everyone looks good, we can encourage them, or by not teasing anyone, being kind to everyone, etc. I couldn't come up with good ones, so I stopped. So let me move on to war and terrorism. War is an intense armed conflict between parliaments, states, countries, etc. So it is generally categorized by extreme violence, destruction, and mortality using regular or irregular military forces. So how many of you know about the World War I and II? Yeah, most of us know about that. It caused massive death of over 80 million people. Can you imagine? And over 80 million people. Lately, the war between Ukraine and Russia is going on. It's really unpleasant. So, terrorism is also somewhat like wars. It is the use of criminal violence. To provoke a state of terror or fear, mostly with the intention to achieve political or religious aims. So we youth leaders can try to mitigate all these crises which I told today by being more responsible citizens of this world. With these words, I am ending my speech. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you, Youth Leader Arvind Sinjo. Our second speaker is Youth Leader Atika Mariam. Youth Leader Atika Mariam. Atika Mariam. Her evaluator youth leader Abdullah. An eye-opening revelation. Youth leader Atika Mariam. Youth leader Atika Mariam. An eye-opening revelation.
Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed, said Mahatma Gandhi. Is there salt in your toothpaste? You must have heard it, right? A famous advertisement. Salt in toothpaste, avocado in shampoo, honey and butter in soap, and many more. These are the advertisements that are flooded in our markets and we are getting attracted to it. There is more fruit in the rich man's shampoo today than in the poor man's plate. We don't realize that the world's hunger is getting worse by the day. Dignitaries, Project Toastmasters, families, friends, and my dear youth leaders, a very warm good evening. What do you like more in your tiffin? The traditional food of yours, or burger, pizza, noodles, or your favorite chips? Yes, I know. Most of us feel happy to see our favorite food items in our tiffin. But my mom always packed my tiffin with idli, dosa, chapati, and all the traditional food, which I don't like much. She believes in healthy food diet, which I don't believe like you. But I have no other goal other than to carry it to school. I bring my tiffin empty at afternoon. You know how I empty it? Yes. After taking 1 or 2 bites, I throw it away in the distance. I don't like this kind of food which is given to me, and I continue the same until an eye-opening revelation came to me my last summer vacation. Last summer vacation, I went to India. It was really fun, enjoying with my cousins, going for parties, family functions, and all. Attending parties is an ecstatic thing for me. You know what? Yes, there we will have all kinds of food which we want to eat. Arranging more varieties of food when marriage functions become a symbol of social status nowadays. I went for a party with my parents. I saw there varieties of food arranged just as in a restaurant. You feel confused what to take. There was a display of fried food items, chicken dishes, burger, pizza, noodles, and all the kinds of all the different varieties of biryanis and whatnot. I wanted to taste all, but being one person, I could only taste 2 or 3. I just watched others. Their plates were filled with many dishes, all were taking more than what they wanted. And I saw them just tasting and throwing away. Again, filling their plates with some other dishes. Later on, I noticed something curious. Some people collecting the leftover food. It aroused my curiosity. I came to know that our leftover food is a luxury for some other people. They are collecting the food for the poor and the needy in their nearby places. It was a shock to me. I never thought that there are people who are starving in my own neighboring places. This incident taught me a great lesson, how I love my food given by my mom every day. These people are waiting for those leftover food. My dear friends, according to the United Nations Environment Program Food Wastage Index Report 2021 in India, 40% of the food is wasted. This is equivalent to 92,000 crore a year. Imagine how serious it is. It is an astonishing fact that approximately 40% of the food in a marriage function venue is wasted and thrown away. We all are aware that in India, starvation is the major cause of death. Countless children sleep empty stomach and are starving out there. So, my dear friends, well, this incident taught me a great lesson, How afterwards, whenever we go to a restaurant or for a party, we order only enough food. We all try not to waste food. If in case there is a leftover food, we pack it and keep it in the public food ATMs or the public fridges. Friends, do you ever imagine that our simple acts can bring a change in the life of so many people? Yes, we should follow very simple yet powerful ideas to help not to waste food. Remember, we eat to fill our stomach, not for our gluttony. So, my dear friends, after this program itself, when you take food, remember the faces of those people who starve, who are waiting for the leftover food of us. Let us think, eat, and save. Will you practice it?
Yes.
That's great. Thank you. And over.
Our third speaker is Youth Leader Saad Saudas. Youth Leader Saad Saudas will deliver his international speech project. Help me welcome Youth Leader Saad Saudas. The value of time. Youth Leader Saad Saudas. Youth Leader Saad Saudas. The value of time.
Time is what we want most, but use the worst. A quote from William Penn. Dear distinguished Toastmasters, youth leaders, and guests, I have a question for you. Do you think you value your and other people's time?
Yes.
If so, time is one of the most important elements in our lives. We cannot do anything without it, and as such, its value is undisputed. There are many different perspectives of time, on the value of time. Some people may find time very important, and some people might not find it as important. These differences arise because the different situational awarenesses in your time, in your life. There are some things that we can do in a very short amount of time and a very large amount of time. We can increase our potential, our earning potential, and we can develop ourselves as a person in a large amount of time. Other things, however, are not worth it because they take time away from us and from doing things that we value more. One of the things we value most is our free time. It is the time we spend doing things that we like and that make us happy. It is therefore important that we use our time wisely so that we have enough time for the things that we love to do. In our lives, we will face many situations. Where we need to make a decision in a split second or in a large amount of time. Some of these decisions will be easy, while others may be a bit more difficult to make. We may have difficulty in choosing between one activity and another because we have a limited amount of time on your hands. We are forced to make a quick decision. It is important that we make good choices because we cannot change our situation overnight. It may take some time before we decide what we want and how we should spend our time. When we are young, we usually are carefree and don't think too much about the time and how we spend it. Yet when we get older, as we grow older, however, we start to think about what we can do with the time in our future and in the present. Some of us start thinking about how we should use our education to earn a good living in the future. Others start thinking about the type of person we want to be and how we want to change our lives for as soon as possible if we want to achieve our goals in life. When we reach adulthood and start to do more than we did in our childhood, we realize that it is not enough to only simply survive. We need to do and develop things as individuals, such as skills. We realize that it's not enough. We will have to make some important changes in the way we spend our time from when we were younger to your teens and your adulthood. One of the most important decisions that we make is how to manage our time so that we can do all the things we want to do in a certain day or a certain time period. So without showing and seeing the value towards the time, we will not use it to its greatest potential. Valuing time is a step to success, and it will provide a great value to your future. Thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Saad Saudas. Our fourth speaker is Youth Leader Radin Mohammed. Youth leader Radin Mohammed will deliver his international speech project. Help me welcome Youth leader Radin Mohammed. The man who knew everything. Youth leader Radin Mohammed. Youth leader Radin Mohammed, the man who knew everything.
1729. What is so special about 1729? There is an interesting story behind this special number. Youth leader of the day, respected judges, distinguished guests, and my dear fellow youth leaders, a warm good evening to all. Good evening. Do you know which national day falls on December 22? Anyone?
Portugal.
Yes, on December 22, we celebrate our National Mathematics Day. We celebrate our National Mathematics Day to remark the birthday of a famous genius mathematician. He is none other than Mr. Srinivasa Ramanujan. On the very next day, on December 22, another genius was born. Can anyone guess?
Radin.
Yes, you are absolutely right. December 23 is my birthday. I am so much delighted to be born one day after Srinivasa Ramanujan. Now to the interesting story of 1729. 1729 is known as the Hardy Ramanujan number. G.H. Hardy, a British mathematician, once visited Ramanujan in a hospital in London while he was in. Hardy told Ramanujan, I had ridden in a taxi cab. The number of the taxi cab seems to be a dull number. Ramanujan asked, what was the number? Hardy replied, 1729. Excitedly, Ramanujan responded, it's not a dull number, rather it is a very interesting number. It is the smallest number expressible as sum of two cubes in two different ways. Interesting, isn't it? It would be worth to know about him in brief. Ramanujan was the first Indian elected as the Fellow of Trinity College and the second Indian awarded as Fellow of Royal Society FRS by the Royal Society of London. Srinivasa Ramanujan was born in 1887 at E Road, Tamil Nadu in a poor Brahmin family during the British Rule. Though he had no formal graduation, his passion for mathematics was outstanding. He could publish his work in the Journal of Indian Mathematical Society while he was very young. He had many correspondence with British mathematicians of his time. Finally, G.H. Hardy, one of the eminent pure mathematicians in Cambridge, recognized Ramanujan's brilliance and arranged him to travel to London. Ramanujan's arrival at London was the beginning of a very successful association with Mr. Hardy. Together they had many pieces of researches and findings. Nearly 20 journals were published alone for Ramanujan and many in collaboration with Mr. Hardy. But the alien climate took a toll on his health and he returned back to India after 5 years of mathematical productiveness. After 1 year of his return, he died due to the tuberculosis in the age of 32. During his shorter span of life, he had substantially contributed to mathematics like mathematical analysis, number theories, infinite series, continued fraction, and many more. Most of his works were compiled in 3 notebooks and 1 lost notebook. The lost notebook was later found in Trinity College Library after 50 years, in which still researches are ongoing. Some of his works are now using to study the behavior of universal black holes. A biography was written on him in 1991 by an American biographer, Robert Carrigal, titled The Man Who Knew Infinity. A British movie was also released in 2016 based on his biography with a same title, The Man Who Knew Infinity. He's a very inspiring mathematician who inspired me to love mathematics as my favorite subject. His passion and brilliance to mathematics always encouraged me to invest my future on mathematics. I would like to conclude with a quote by G.H. Hardy on Ramanujan. His works have to be true, because if his works were not true, no one would have the imagination to invent them. Thank you, and back to the youth.
Thank you, Youth Leader Rajan Mohammed. May I get the timer's report, please?
Okay, Abar Mohammed, absent. With Rida Fasmin, 4 minutes 16 seconds qualified. Ahlam Zahra, 5 minutes 30 seconds qualified. Ayan Jafar, 5 minutes 28 seconds qualified. Arvind Sinjo, 5 minutes 30 seconds qualified. Atika Mariam, 5 minutes 32 seconds qualified. Saad Saudas, 3 minutes 2 seconds disqualified. Radin Mohammed, 5 minutes 20 seconds qualified.
So please cast your vote for the best speaker, not for yourself. Okay? Talents should be recognized.
So when you cast your vote, make sure you choose the best three of the lot from both. That is total 3 from icebreaker and international speech. Okay. Because icebreaker we have only 3 speakers today, so no, the 3 speakers must be from both the sessions. All right. Any doubts? Can I?
After vote, we can break, right?
We can have a 10 minute break
After voting.
once you have the voting done. Yeah?
Now, let's have a 10 minutes break.
Yes, I know. I know. Yes.
Bro, look. President does what is it?
Very good one.
Oh yes, let's go. He's actually.
You are captain.
I am not captain.
Captain. Okay.
She's asking about my sister. She's her classmate. She asked me what she hates the most. I was just joking. She hates
You, right? She said.
She hates orange. 7. I think 7. Plus
Tell me something she hates doing.
how dare you? She hates doing. She hates talking.
She's the one
She's my sibling. Just ask me for my sister's name.
So I'll ask her.
Yeah, I'll feel really good. I'll tell her to say this.
I told my dad not to come here.
I was going to tell your dad to check your phone. You are being little no, yes, little sus, you know. Little sus. Actually, it is.
That was good, not good. What was my timer?
3 at once. Confused the most. Bro, this is a low quality tennis racket. Table. 2 minutes.
30 seconds. Speaker.
One question. Before BMW evaluation, I'm just here. But I don't know. I am third British speaker in my class.
Yes. What are you?
I'm speaker also evaluate.
I am the speaker. I am already telling
Yo,
you.
what the hell is this?
iMac it's.
iMac how it's
I have real iMac.
iMacs are scams. Why gaming computers?
I actually have a gaming computer.
Bro, look, this thing is tampered. It's not tilted.
Look at the back. Look at the back. Look how dirty it is.
It's dirtier than this guy's browsing history.
And session 2 evaluated.
I am in session 1. Thank you.
Oh my god, I didn't mean it. I said gender as in gender. Hey, you mind you? Oh, I'm sending white powder images in Victoria's Secret.
White powder.
White powder. I'm a very disciplined thing. This guy edited me, okay? So it makes sense. You're reading here, so it makes sense. You can edit me. I will edit here. Put you in status also. As a president, he called due respect. You are fired. Hey, what did you Oh my god. Okay, this is good. The last 10 minutes, yes.
Everyone settle down. Everyone settle down, please. Everyone, please settle down fast. Fellow Toastmasters and friends, good evening once again. May I request our joke master, youth leader Fadi Rahman, to come to the lectern to share a joke. Toastmaster, fellow youth leaders and guests, a very pleasant good evening to all.
Good evening.
Today, my role is to be a joke master. I hope everyone will enjoy and will be relaxed. One day, a man went to the doctor with his 5-year-old son and he said, "Doctor, my son has swallowed a key, so we came to you." Then the doctor said, "When did he swallow a key?" The man replied, 10 days back. Doctor asked, "And you are coming to me now after 10 days? Man replied, "We had a duplicate key, but today it is also lost." An old man has 8 hair on his head. He went to barber shop. The barber angrily asked, "Shall I cut it or count it?" Old man smiled and said, "Color it." Life is to enjoy with whatever you have with you. After an English exam, teacher asked the students, "How was the paper?" Students replied, "It was good, but fifth question was bit confusing." Fifth question wanted the past tense of think. I thought and thought and thought, and finally I ended up writing thinking. One day a boy was late to school. The teacher asked, "Why are you late today?" Student replied, "Because of sign down the road." Teacher, what does the sign have to do with you are being late? The sign said school ahead. Go slow. Thank you. Thank you, Youth Leader Fadi Rahman. Let's start our third segment of the evening, the table topic segment. To conduct this most exciting segment, we exciting personality. Please help me welcome youth leader Harshi Nisha to conduct this statement, please.
Youth Leader of the Day, thank you for generous introduction. Mrs. Youth Leader, fellow Toastmaster, distinguished guests, a very warm good evening to all.
Good evening.
I feel elated to be your table topic master. The purpose of table topic is to sharpen our communication skills from listening, thinking, organizing and speaking on feet. The time allotted is minimum 1 minute and maximum is 2 minutes 30 seconds, after which you will be disqualified. With this, I invite our first speaker to talk on the selected topic. Our first speaker is Afan Muhammad. Our first speaker is Samar Shamir. Please welcome Youth Leader Samar Shamir to the podium. Your topic is your bucket list for New Year. I repeat, your topic is your bucket list for New Year.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My bucket list for 2023 is definitely get good marks in my studies. I'm going to be going to 10th grade, so I'll definitely want to get good marks and study harder, study every day, basically, because usually I just study one day before the exam. So for 10th grade, I'm planning to study the chapters that I took that day, at least for like 30 minutes or 15 minutes. That's one of my biggest things on my bucket list. Another thing would probably be to go to another country for summer vacation. I'll probably be going to India, but I also want to go to another country, like a European country or whatever, because my family loves to travel. I just came back from Riyadh like an hour ago. I mean, well, 2 hours ago. I went to this place called Boulevard World. It was really fun. There was a roller coaster. It was honestly the best roller coaster I've ever been on. It just like went like, it was so good. It was so good. It was like mind blowing. And honestly, there was like tears coming out of my eyes, not because it was like super good, but because it was so fast and so cold in the air. Like it was in the air and it was like crazy. It was super cold, but it was one of the best roller coasters I've ever been on. And so yeah, those are just the two main things on my bucket list, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Samar Shamir, for your. Our second speaker is Abid Ansar. Please welcome Youth Leader Abid Ansar. Your topic is things you think you can, but you can't, and why.
What are the things? Good evening to all present here. Good evening. Okay, so things which I think I can do, but I cannot do. One of them is singing. When I was small, like what do you call it? Like when I was 9 years old, 10 years old, I would try to sing. I sounded horrendous. Of course, I would sound horrendous. I'll ask my parents how was my singing. Just to cheer me up, they would say, "Oh, your singing was amazing." Back then, I was a bit more invested into music, you know. And then a few days back, I tried singing again. When I tried singing again, I actually recorded myself this time. When I played back the recording, it was like hell to my ears. So I'm now going to be able to sing again. Another thing which I think I can do, but I actually cannot do, is write good. Always, since I've actually started to write, I've been having complaints that I'm having bad handwriting, this handwriting, that handwriting. So when I try to write good someday, any day, out of pure boredom, when I decide to write good, it will look good in the moment. Like, oh, I think I'm writing very nice. But after like 10 minutes, I look back at my notes and think to myself, what have I written? I can't understand any of this. Those are the two major things which I think I can do, but I cannot. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, youth leader Abid, for your good speech. Our third speaker is Krishna Pramod. Your topic is your first success story. I repeat, your topic is your first success story.
Dear youth leaders, distinguished guests, and my friends, a very warm good evening to all. I would say I don't have a lot of success stories. I mean, they're zero. But I try to make the most out of a place where I can. I would say my first success story is when I could eat flaming hot Cheeto without crying. It was actually a very big accomplishment for me because my sister, my mother would eat it and like they would say, I want to add more spice. But when I eat, I literally cry like I watched an emotional movie. Literally, it was so sad for me to see my family eat it without any problem, and I'm left over here in the dust, in the Cheeto dust. So I tried to build up my spice tolerance. I watched review videos which were very spicy, like Mr. Beast, and like that built up my mental spice tolerance, but not my physical. So I started eating very less spicy, like I would say M&Ms with salted and yeah, it's very gross. I don't want to tell the recipe. I tried with that. It still gave me tears. So I ate it every single day. So I bought this packet of M&Ms and I saved it for myself. Though my sister ate it sometimes. So like that, I built my spice tolerance every day. And then I pleaded my dad, please, I want to show my skill now. Please buy me a Cheeto. He says no. I go with my pocket money, which is like 2 reals. I go to the store, buy it myself, get 2-3 slappings from my dad, and I eat it. Still tears come out, but it was not because of the spice. It was because of my emotion. Yeah, I would say that's my success story. So thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, youth leader Krishna Pramod. Now, our fourth and last speaker, Fadi Rahman. I would like to invite Fadi Rahman to the podium. Your topic is, if you meet an angel, what are the 3 wishes you would like to ask him and why? I repeat, if you meet an angel, what are the 3 wishes you would like to ask and why?
Toastmaster, fellow youth leaders and guests, a very pleasant good evening
to all. My first wish would be to be a footballer because I have watched only one World Cup, that is 22 World Cup. 18, I was not that interested. 14, no chance. And 10, I was born only. So it was my first World Cup. And now I know many players of most of the teams, best teams. My favorite football player is Messi. Like Ryan said in ice-breaking speech. And my second wish is to meet Messi. Even though I got a chance, but I have missed it. I got a chance. I went to Spain in my second year. My father was working in Spain, and my father has went to watch Barcelona versus Real Madrid. But that time I couldn't go because I was too small. And third wish would be win a World Cup to India. I don't think it will be, but I'll try my best. Thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Fadi Rahman. Please give a round of thunderous applause to all the table topic speakers. Can I have the timers report, please?
Afan Mohammed absent. The Samar Samir 1 minute 28 seconds qualified. Abid Ansar 1 minute 42 seconds qualified. Krishna Pramod 2 minutes 5 seconds qualified. Father Rahman 1 minute 55 seconds qualified. Everyone is qualified except Afan who is absent.
Thank you, timer. Over to you, Youth Leader.
Thank you, Youth. Thank you, Youth. Thank you, Youth Leader Harshil Nishad. Now I would like to call Youth Leader Roshan Shanwas. Now I would like to call Youth Leader Ayan Harris.
Dear Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders and guests, a very good evening to all.
Good evening.
One of the most exciting portions of the Toastmasters meeting is the table topic session. The main objective is to challenge members to develop their impromptu skills. Today, as your table topic master, I have prepared a few questions for you. The time allotted is a minimum of 1 minute and a maximum of 2 minutes 30 seconds, after which you will be disqualified. I also encourage you to use the word of the day, ecstatic. So let's get started with our first speaker, Youth Leader Roshan Shanavas. Youth Leader Roshan Shanavas. Your topic is, if you were president for a day, what would be your first action to the country? I repeat, if you were president for a day, what would be your action to the country? Youth Leader Roshan Shanavas.
Respected
good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
So, if I was a president for a day, my first action would be to stop poverty. Because a lot of people around this world are dying because of hunger and hunger and poverty, of course. One day, my brother Shahrukh Shanwas shot me a world famous photo which had won the 1994 Pulitzer Award. In that photo, it shows that a small child who was dying, who was like starving for food, was crawling to a food can nearby. And a vulture who was standing few steps beside him was waiting for him to die. I was shocked by seeing this photo. From on that day, I decided to never ever waste food in my life. I tried to never ever waste food in my life. And I told to my friends to I have seen this photo and I felt like so shocked. So I told my friends to never waste food in their lives. And I also urge the youth leaders here to never ever waste food in life and give provide food to the people who are in need. And yeah, that's it. Over to the talk.
Thank you, Youth Leader Roshan Shanawaz, for your effort. Then we have Youth Leader Sadaf Parveen. Youth Leader Sadaf Parveen, your topic is, what is the most valuable lesson you learned from your parents? I repeat, what is the most valuable lesson you learned from your parents? Youth Leader Sadaf Parveen.
Good evening to everyone present here. One day I was, am I audible?
Yes.
One day I was talking to my parents. I was 10 years old, I guess. I was talking to my parents, and we were talking about one auntie who used to boast about herself a lot. And my father advised, and we were talking about her, and my father told me that it is not a good thing to boast about yourself. You should never ever brag about your good qualities in front of others. You should never ever brag about your wealth, your health, and whatever you have to others. It may be affected, it may make them feel bad because what you have, they probably won't have. Like you might be richer than someone, they might have less wealth than you, they might not be as healthy as you. So this is the one advice I got from my father, that don't ever boast about yourself, never ever brag about your wealth, your health. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Sadaf Parveen. Next, we have Youth Leader Shadab Ansari. Youth Leader Shadab Ansari, if there was one thing you could change about your school, what would it be? I repeat, if there was one thing you could change about your school, what it would be? Youth Leader Shadab Ansari.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, everyone. What should I change about my school? To be honest, I want to change the principal of our school, ISJ.
Good, he is not here.
She's not that much good. She always targeted me anyway. Whatever I do, yeah. I hope, inshallah, our principal should be changed. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, youth leader Shadab Ansari, for your effort. Next, we have youth leader Abdullah. If youth leader Abdullah, your topic is, if you could hang out with any cartoon character, who would you choose and why? Youth leader Abdullah.
Respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, and our parents, a warm good evening to all of you.
Good evening.
Myself Abdullah, and I will be talking about the topic, which cartoon character would I choose to hang out with? If I'm honest, I don't watch any cartoons, so I don't know anything about the cartoon characters or something. But my brother used to watch, and the cartoon's name was some Super Strikers or something, some football cartoon. So let me just say that I'll be hanging out with some football players or something. And thank you.
Thank you, youth leader Abdullah, for your effort.
Less than 1 minute discount. And for the tabletop agreement, 1% certificate, that's called.
Next, finally we have youth leader Rida Amira. Youth leader Rida Amira, your topic is, how do you spend the majority of your free time? I repeat, how do you spend the majority of your free time? Youth leader Rida Amira.
Leader of the day. Leader of the day, distinguished Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, parents, good evening.
Good evening.
The majority of can I have the I spend the majority of my time sleeping. Whenever I get the opportunity to, I sleep. Like, you come ring at my doorbell, I'll be sleeping. Whenever I get the opportunity, I sleep because that's something I like to do, or else I'm on my phone. That's how I spend my free time, either sleeping or I'm on my phone. Other than that, I study or hang out with my friends. But I sleep because I want to forget what else is going on in my life. I might be having exams or I might be going through something, so I genuinely just want to sleep so that I can forget everything that I'm doing. Or I'm on my phone listening to music or watching Netflix, texting my friends. That's kind of like therapy, you know? Sleeping or being on my phone, I can distract myself.
That's it. Thank you.
Thanks to everyone who participated. Over to you, youth leader of the day.
Thank you, youth leader Hayan Harris. Now I would like to call youth leader Roshan Shanwas to conduct the TT session, please.
First session you get the time. Second session you
Now I would like to call Roshan Shanwas. Avidan sir. The time is
Roshan Shanwas, 1 minute 18 seconds, qualified.
Listen.
Roshan Shanwas, 1 minute 18 seconds, qualified. Sadaf Parveen, 1 minute 11 seconds, qualified. Shadab Ansari, 1 minute 9 seconds, qualified. Abdullah PCO, 42 seconds, disqualified. Rida Maira, 1 minute 13 seconds, qualified. Everyone except Abdullah PCO is qualified.
Now I would like to call youth leader Roshan Shanwas to conduct the TT session, please.
Respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders and loving parents, a warm good evening to all of you once again. I feel elated to be your table topic master. Please be reminded that the time allotted is a minimum of 1 minute and maximum of 2 minutes 30 seconds, after which you will be disqualified. So our first speaker is youth leader Varshan Sindhil Raja. Your topic is, if animals could talk, which would be the most charming? I repeat, if animals could talk, which would be the most charming? If animals could talk, which would be the most charming?
Dear Presiding Officer, fellow youth leader, Toastmaster, and distinguished guests, a very warm good evening to you all. If an animal talks, only dogs stand because it's little.
What's the behavior? What's the behavior? What's the job?
Thank you.
Our next table topic speaker is youth leader Gilbert Titus. Youth leader Gilbert Titus, your topic is, what is more important, speaking or listening? I repeat, what's more important, speaking or listening?
Respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, dignitaries, and all my dear friends, a warm good evening to one and all present here. My name is Gilbert Titus, and today I'm going to say which is better, listening or speaking. So what do you suggest, youth leaders? Is listening better or speaking?
Listening.
Yes. And may I know the reason? Anyone?
Without listening, we can't talk. By listening only, we can give a feedback.
Yes. Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, I'll say. The one which I think is, I would go with listening, because imagine sitting in a crowd and getting up and coming to the stage and giving a speech. It would be scary, fear. you won't be having confidence. Now, even now I'm shivering, like I can't control myself. So, it would be good if you sit and listen. When now I'm giving speech, and how many of you likes listening to me?
Me.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Oh my God, I can't see my parents raising my hand. Disappointment. Oh my God. So overall, listening would be great than rather than speaking, and I would like to conclude by saying listening is better than speaking. Thank you.
Our next developed speaker is youth leader Olivia Maria. Youth leader Olivia Maria, your topic is if you could have a superpower, what would it be? I repeat, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Dear Toastmasters, youth leaders and our guests, good evening. If I get a chance to choose a superpower, I would probably choose flying, because if I choose flying, I could like travel around all the world, seeing the beauty of every world and all. And yeah, I would probably choose flying. And even though I'm afraid of heights, flying is the most like enjoyment superpower that I could have, because I can travel the world and see like all the beauty above it. And I could fly like near the aeroplanes and helicopters, and it would be fun flying. And yeah, I would probably choose flying if I get a chance like to choose what superpower I would be choosing. Thank you.
Our next democratic speaker is youth leader Harshil Nishad. Youth leader Harshil Nishad, your topic is what is the most important step to calm down an angry person? I repeat, what is the most important step to calm down an angry person?
Good evening, all the Toastmasters and youth leaders. Myself, Harshil. Today, my topic is how to make calm a person who is angry. Honestly, I don't know how to do, because I am an angry person. In my suggestion, one of the things we could do is give his favorite things. Like my brother, when he gets angry, I give him chocolate. Or I will play football with him, or give him phone. And for adult, I don't know. In my opinion, I can't give anything to an angry person except my younger brother, because I know only my younger brother. If someone like my friend, like my best friend, who went to India, Aaron Samson. He loves painting. So when he gets angry, I can just throw some painting or drawing on his face. Or I don't have any option to make cool some adult. For children's, I have ideas. Chocolate and something else. He will become cool. Thank you for listening.
Our next welcome speaker is youth leader Aina Anju.
Am I audible?
Youth leader Aina Anju, your topic is can creativity be taught? Why or why not? I repeat, can creativity be taught? Why or why not?
Respected distinguished guests, Toastmasters, guests, parents, and my dear euphoric youth leaders. Good evening. Creativity can't be taught because we all are creative. It's just that we have to find out what we are creative in. If someone is creative, not everyone is creative in the same way. Everybody is creative in their own way. It can be mentally or physically or in anything you're interested in. One very important thing, if you have to be creative, it's something you have to be interested in. That's why I'm not very creative in maths. But if you tell me to dance or paint, I can do that because that's something I have interest in. Many people are interested in football. They can play amazing football. If you are interested in studies, maybe you find creative ways to study. So it's about what you have interest in. Other than that, every one of us is creative. No one has to teach you to be creative. Thank you.
So that's all the tabletop speakers. So please give a thunderous round of applause to all the tabletop speakers. Can I have the timer report, please?
Watson Senthil Raja, 35 seconds, disqualified. Gilbert Titus, 1 minute 30 seconds, qualified. Olivia Maria, 1 minute 14 seconds, qualified. Harshil Nishad, 1 minute 37 seconds, qualified. Aina Anju, 1 minute 3 seconds, qualified. Everyone except Watson Senthil Raja is qualified.
And yeah, that's it. Out to the youth leader over there.
Now select your first speaker from each session.
May I request all of you to cast your vote? For improvement, we need constructive feedback. So, let us have expert comments from our general evaluator and his team. Our general evaluator today is a true symbol of commitment and support. Our encouraging and dedicated youth leader. Please help me welcome youth leader Mohammad Shari to evaluate today's segment.
Thank you, Mrs. Youth Leader, for the wonderful introduction. Fellow youth leaders and distinguished guests, good evening to all of you. Good evening. I welcome you all to another exciting session, the evaluation session. Evaluation session is very unique and important session in the Toastmaster educational program. We talk to many people and do many things in our personal and professional life. But very seldom we get instant feedback with compassion and motivating us. In youth leadership program, we got experienced youth leaders who give very wonderful feedback to motivate the speaker and explain them the areas of strength which we can capitalize in further and areas which need some extra attention. For evaluating the prepared speeches and PT speeches, I had tonight a very strong team of seasoned, stylish and very effective evaluators. For our first evaluation, we have Youth Leader Samar Shami to evaluate Youth Leader Rida Fasman.
Good evening, everyone. So today I'll be evaluating with our freshmen. I have a couple of segments, I guess. So number one, clarity. Your spoken language was clear and easily understood. Your vocal variety. You use tone, speed, and volume as very good tools. Your gestures. You use physical gestures as a tool to enhance your speech, which is a very good thing for your future areas. Your interest for the audience and everything. You engage the audience with interesting, well-constructed content. You use the podium very well. You walked around here and there, which is a good thing. You had a very interesting approach with your speech about the whole everything. I like the way you executed it. And some things you need to work on was eye contact with the audience. You didn't really feel like you were engaging with the audience. And your audience awareness, your audience engagement or awareness of audience requires further practice. So those are just the two things you need to work on. Everything else was really good. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Samar Shami, for that effective evaluation. Next, may I welcome Youth Leader Aina Anju to evaluate Youth Leader Ahlam Zahra.
Life is not about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. And evaluation helps you create the best of you. Respected distinguished guests, Toastmasters, parents, and all my dear youth leaders, a fantabulous good evening to all of you, especially Youth Leader Ahlam. I was truly mesmerized by your speech, and I was really ecstatic to hear it. I'm sorry if I butchered it. Some things I loved about your speech was your confidence from the moment you stepped on stage until you got off. You had good stage usage. It didn't feel like you were standing in one place for too long, or it didn't look like you were running around. And I love that you added a personal story which makes us feel connected to you. And it was a very interesting story. You had a very good message. I like how you concluded the speech too. And I love how you described and set a picture for us in the beginning of the speech for your, so you could smoothly say your message. Even the best speeches have room for recommendations. Some recommendations I have is to memorize your speech ahead of time so you don't have to hold a paper. Because sometimes when you hold a paper, it restricts your actions. And a little bit more voice modulation. For example, when you are saying collecting dust, like instead of just saying collecting dust, you can collecting dust, the mystic night, to add a little more character to the speech. And when the man came to you, you kind of said, "I'll take you home," like as if the man is saying to you, and so we could have felt in the moment, it would have helped with the, and your conclusion felt a little sped up, and I know it's because you saw the red card, so it felt a little sped up. Other than that, your speech was amazing, and I'm thrilled to see more of your amazing speeches in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Aina Anju, for that wonderful evaluation. For our last icebreaker speech, evaluation, may I welcome Youth Leader Shadab Ansari to evaluate Youth Leader Raya Jafar.
respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, all parents, and in particular, the charming youth leader Ryan Jaffer. A warm good evening to all of you. Myself, Shadab Ansari, and I am here to do my speech evaluation on youth leader Ryan Jaffer. Smile, you could smile throughout your speech. Your eye contact was so good. Voice modulation, you could focus on your voice modulation to improve. And yeah, that's it. It was a good speech, Ryan Jaffer. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader Shadab Ansari. Now for international speech evaluation, may I welcome Youth Leader Rida Agarwal to evaluate the speech given by Youth Leader Arvind Sinjal.
Youth Leader of the Day, fellow youth leaders, distinguished Toastmasters and parents, good evening once again. Good evening. First, I want to congratulate Arvind Sinju for delivering such a wonderful speech. I was extremely ecstatic before his performance because he delivered the first ever international speech of Periyar Toastmasters Youth Leadership Program 2022. Please give him a round of applause. His speech title was A Crisis of Our World. Arvind, what I loved about your speech was you had hand gestures and you put something that you wanted to change about our world. And I really like that about it. And you were using the podium, you went from one place to another and you came back to the same spot where you began your speech. It was something that I liked. And next time maybe, like Youth Leader Aina said, you can memorize. That would be better because you need to memorize. It looked like you were reading out. It's better if you memorize. And maybe give a story. Give a story so everyone will be interested. When you give a story, it's something that other people don't know. So you can engage with the audience. Maybe chill out a little bit. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader Rida Agarwal, for the evaluation. Now let me welcome Youth Leader Abdullah to evaluate Youth Leader Atika Maryam.
Respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, all parents, and in particular the charming youth leader Atika Maryam, a warm good evening to all of you. Myself Abdullah, and I will be evaluating the international speech of youth leader Atika Maryam. Please give a thunderous round of applause for her. What an aesthetic speech was that. You have just the right topic, an eye-opening revolution for your international speech. The body of your speech was amazing. She delivered the speech in an irreplaceable way. I really enjoyed the way she delivered the speech. She have added a wonderful quote in the beginning of her speech. She had a very good eye contact with all youth leaders. You have made your speech interesting by adding a personal story. You have used your hands to convey the message to youth leaders. Even though your speech was incredible, there are some humble recommendations for your improvement to reach further heights. The main thing I noticed is that you were walking all times here and there, but you could walk here and there by saying each points. You could focus on your voice modulation. The other thing I noticed was you look nervous in the ending of the speech. These are my humble recommendations. Thank you, Youth Leader Atika, for an amazing international speech. Over to you, General.
Thank you, Leader Abdullah. Next up, we have Youth Leader Olivia Maria to evaluate the speech given by Saad Sabas.
Toastmasters, youth leaders, and all guests, good evening once again. So, today I am going to evaluate Sark Saudar on his international speech. What a stunning speech was that. Give a round of applause for Sark Saudar for his wonderful speech. Your speech is amazing. There are three suggestions that you can improve on your upcoming speeches. You can using the podium. You could have like walked around the podium a little more. And the second one was the hand gestures. You can you can use like little wider hand gestures. That would be nicer on the speech. And the punch was needed on his speech because you were saying the speech without a punch, so it would have like nicer if you had punch in it. You are like saying like one throw, so punch was also like needed. And yeah, now I'm telling you that you can do better in your upcoming speeches. And yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, leader For our last international speech evaluation, we have youth leader Gilbert Titus to evaluate the speech of youth leader Radin Mohammed.
Am I audible? Yes. Contestant, respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, dignitaries, and all my dear friends, a warm good evening. Now, I am going to evaluate youth leader Radin Mohammed. Youth leader Radin Mohammed started his speech with a grateful introduction about a very bad person. Yes, the person who found mathematics. First of all, let's give a round of applause. Starting with the good points, I was really impressed by his confidence. The way of his speaking, he was confident that the next line of his speech would be this. He was so confident, even better than me. Secondly, he had a good sense of humor, which made us feel interesting on his speech. He did maintain a good eye contact with the youth leaders, and overall, he gave a wonderful speech regarding mathematics. I appreciate it. Now, points to improve. Lack of movements. All he did was, he was just standing in the same place and he was speaking. So I would suggest him to use hand gestures next time. And he could have used the podium well as well. He could have walked in order to gain attention from the speakers. And secondly, voice modulation. Emphasizing on points, for example, jokes, birthdays, and years. Although he did very well, but I would just recommend him to do it a little more. And third point, a little slower. He was saying, I won't say it was in fear or something. He was confident, but it was a little faster as I felt. So I would say him to say his next speech a little slower. And that's all. Let's give a round of applause for him.
Thank you, Leader Gilbert Titus. Now let us move to our table topic evaluation. To evaluate our table topic speakers, please help me welcome youth leader Hayat Maris to evaluate our first table topic session.
Dear Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, guests, a very good evening to all. What an ecstatic session it was. I congratulate all the speakers and give them a round of applause. Let me start with our first speaker, youth leader Samar Shamir. Your speech was amazing. You expressed your emotion in right way.
I have one recommendation for you. Look at your audience straight in eyes and begin to talk as if every one of them were dummies. Then we have youth leader Abid Ansar. You showed confidence when it comes to delivering any speech. I have a recommendation for you. You were just looking straight. You could have looked there, everywhere. Then we have youth leader Krishna Prabhu. You really know how to effectively captivate the audience. Well done. Your improvement is to have eye contact with the audience. Finally, we have youth leader Father Rahman. You could have used the podium very well. You have legs, so you can walk with your legs. You express your emotion very well. I hope all the youth leaders use my recommendation for your speech, for your future speeches, and your speeches will be from better to the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader Higher College, for your constructive and effective evaluation. Now I welcome Youth Leader Faisal Mehran to evaluate the second table topic session.
Hello.
Dear Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders and distinguished guests, this is Faisal Mehran and I will be evaluating the second session of table topic segment. First of all, I want everyone to give a huge round of applause for all the table topic speakers. First, I'll be evaluating Roshan Shalas. First of all, Roshan, the way you expressed your topic was amazing and I liked it. It was like, even though it was only for 1 minute, at the spot you did it amazing. And I also appreciate the way your hand gestures, your body language. It was also very nice. And you also expressed the topic with confidence. But I have some recommendations for you. You could have went around the podium a bit more. Like you were like this and like this. You could have just walked a bit more. Like I'm not telling you your usage of your podium is bad, but a bit more. And you could have also smiled. Like, you know, most of the you could also smile while giving your topic. Next, I'll be evaluating Sadaf Periyar. I really appreciate the way your usage of podium was nice. You were like your hand gestures and your body language was also nice. You're walking walking here and there. It was also very good. But I have some recommendations for you. You could have like eye contact. I felt like you were looking like this. I felt like you were looking like straight to the that walls and these pictures or like that. And also you seemed nervous. You seem kind of nervous, and next time, like I want you to build up the confidence. I'm not telling you, but you kind of seem nervous, and next time when you, I'm hoping like next time when you give the speech, you will with more confidence and you just kind of so sorry. Then next is Sadaf Ansari. His body language is nice, and he also expressed his speech with confidence. And then I felt he was also standing in one place. You could have also used the podium and eye contact. He was looking straight, like he was only looking at straight, not really you have to look at everything when you get there. And you could have also smiled. Next is Dr. Abisio. I appreciate the way you eye contact, you look here to everyone, and he also expressed his topic with confidence, and he also smiled, which is nice. But the recommendations I have to give is you could have went a bit more to the topic. You could have also been a bit more to the topic, and
Then next is Ruta Amara. I love the way how she expressed her topic with confidence, and her voice modulation was also really good. But the recommendations I have is usage of podium, and eye contact. That's the recommendations I have. All the speakers did amazing, and overall they did amazing. I want them to. These are the recommendations I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader Faisal Bhatter. May I welcome Youth Leader Krishna Pramod to evaluate the table topic, session 3.
Good evening once again to everyone. So, I am the evaluator for table topic session 3. There were 5 very amazing speakers. First was youth leader Vasant Senthil Raja. His topic was, if animals could talk, which one would be the most charming? The good thing was he took time to think about the topic, and the not so good thing was he could have consumed more time. Like he could have elaborated more, and he could have made it a little bit more humorous. And also I could not understand which animal you were talking about. I assume it's a werewolf. Next is youth leader Gilbert Titus. His topic was, which is more important, speaking or listening. The good thing was he took time to think about the topic again, and his humor was like heaven in words. But the not so good thing was he should not ask the audience's opinion, as like in the second session we had a workshop on it. Everyone will have different opinions, so I recommend not to ask the audience's opinion. And you could have elaborated more on the topic. Next is Olivia Maria. Her topic was, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? She could have used more humor. It felt like a news reporter. And she could have elaborated a bit more. But the good thing was she used a little bit time to think. Next is Harshit Nishal. What is the most important step you to do to calm down an angry person? The good thing was he used time and he used good humor. But the bad thing was more podium was needed to be used. And you could have used hand gestures like this. Then the last is youth leader Aina Anju. Her topic was, can creativity be thought? Why or why not? The goods were, she used a lot of hand gestures, which was, I think it was clear for the last, am I right? Yeah. Humor was also nice. The bad thing was, she could have used more time to think. She went directly to the topic, and elaboration is key, like all the speakers. Yeah, that's it. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader Krishna Pramod. That concludes the table. That concludes the table topic session. Evaluation. May I get the timer's report, please?
Samar Shamir, 1 minute 16 seconds, qualified. Aina Anju, 1 minute 55 seconds, qualified. Shada Bansali, 38 seconds, disqualified. Rida Maira, 1 minute 20 seconds, qualified. Abdullah PCO, 1 minute 26 seconds, qualified. Olivia Maria, 1 minute 21 seconds, qualified. Gilbert Titus, 1 minute 52 seconds, qualified. Hayan Harris, 1 minute 44 seconds, qualified. Faiza Maharin, 3 minutes 28 seconds, disqualified. Krishna Pramod, 2 minutes 30 seconds, qualified. Only Faiza Maharin and Shada Bansari are disqualified, that's all qualified.
Can I request all of you to cast your vote? In the meantime, I invite the Board Master and Grammarian Youth Leader Mahal Fatima to come to the lectern to give her report, please.
morning to everyone once again. Today's presentations were amazing, and there weren't many not so good usages. So the speakers who have used the word of the day, firstly is Rida Fasmin, Rayam Jafar, Atika Mariam, Aina Anju, Rida Amaira, Abdullah Palaka Wallapil, Olivia, Hayan Harris, and lastly DTM Biju Siar. I hope you guys continue using this word. Oh, and also Ehlam, I'm sorry. Now, the Ehlam, in her icebreaker speech, she's used amazing language. She's used poetry and she's used figures of speech like personification, metaphors, etc. It sounded really poetic. It was amazing. And some cliches or worn out or hackneyed phrases was used by Rida Fasmin in her introduction of her icebreaker. A new word, well, not exactly a new word, but a word that's not usually used by most people here, was horrendous, used by Abid Ansari. And the list of grammatical errors was by youth leader Ahlam. She said perks, but then continued saying the disadvantages. So you could have used cons instead. And Rayam said located at. You're supposed to say located in. And another mistake was by Krishna, youth leader Krishna. He said emotional instead of an emotional. List of mispronounced words. Everyone had the same mistake. It's ecstatic. Just ecstatic. So the people who made the mistake were Rida Amaira, Rida Fasmin, Rayan, Aina Anju, and Olivia. I hope you try to pronounce it correctly. It's ecstatic. Another ecstatic round of applause for our wonderful speakers. That was it, and I hope you all strive forward and improve tremendously. Thank you.
May I request our council to give this report, please?
Rida Fasmin, uns 5 times, unnecessary words 4 times, word repetition 7 times, pauses 4 times. Aham Zara, uns 5 times, unnecessary words 4 times, word repetition 3 times, pauses 4 times. Rayan Jafar, uns 7 times, unnecessary words 2 times, word repetition 6 times, pauses 5 times. Arvind Kinjo, ahams 5 times, unnecessary words 5 times, word repetition 7 times, pauses 4 times. Adhika Mariam, 9 times, unnecessary words 3 times, word repetition 6 times, pauses 4 times. Saad Chowdhury, 7 times, unnecessary words 3 times, word repetition 6 times, pauses 4 times. Radin Muhammad, 6 times, unnecessary words 2 times, word repetition 5 times, pauses 5 times. Shamar Shamir, 6 times, unnecessary words 5 times, word repetition 3 times, pauses 4 times. Abid Ansar, 4 times, unnecessary words 7 times, word repetition 2 times, pauses 6 times. Krishna Pramod, 8 times, unnecessary words 5 times, word repetition 7 times, pauses 2 times. Fadi Rahman, 7 times, unnecessary words 6 times, word repetition 4 times, pauses 5 times. Roshi Sanivas, 5 times, unnecessary words 4 times, word repetition 2 times, pauses 2 times. Youth leader Sadaf Parveen, 3 times, unnecessary words 4 times, word repetition 5 times, pauses 2 times. Sadaf Ansari, 3 times, unnecessary words 4 times, word repetition 3 times, pauses 5 times. Abdullah, Pala, Kavarapil, arms 4 times, unnecessary words 4 times, word repetition 2 times, pauses 3 times. Rida Amera, arms 5 times, unnecessary words 2 times, word repetition 3 times, pauses 4 times. Gilbert Titus, arms 6 times, unnecessary words 4 times, word repetition 1 time, pauses 3 times. Olivia Maria, arms 4 times, unnecessary words 4 times, word repetition 2 times, pauses 3 times. Harshil Nishad, arms 7 times, unnecessary words 8 times, word repetition 2 times, pauses 3 times. Ainanju, arms 3 times, unnecessary words 2 times, word repetition 2 times, pauses 0. For evaluation, Shamar Shamir, arms 5 times, unnecessary words 4 times, word repetition 2 times, pauses 4 times. Youth Ainanju, arms 6 times, unnecessary words 5 times, word repetition 1 times, pauses 3 times. Sadaf Parveen, Sadaf, arms 3 times, unnecessary words 2 times, word repetition 4 times, pauses 1 times. Abdullah, arms 2 times, unnecessary words 3 times, word repetition 2 times, pauses 2 times. Olivia, arms 7 times, unnecessary words 6 times, word repetition 3 times, pauses 5 times. Gilbert Titus, arms 5 times, unnecessary words 5 times, word repetition 4 times, pauses 2 times. Haya Maris, arms 2 times, unnecessary words 3 times, word repetition 2 times, pauses 3 times. Faisal Mehri, arms 4 times, unnecessary words 8 times, word repetition 4 times, pauses 6 times. Our last evaluation is Krishna Pramod, arms 7 times, unnecessary words 5 times, word repetition 6 times, pauses 4 times. Done the job.
Thank you, Leader Marshal Secretary Raja. My dear friends, let's give a round of applause to all these evaluators. Thank you.
Thank you, Youth Leader Mohammed Shalid. What a constructive and encouraging evaluation segment. Please give a huge round of applause for the evaluation and Now I would like to call Manu Gandhar.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, now that the meeting has virtually come to an end, let me ask you all, how was today's meeting? Nice. So which was better, this meeting or the previous one? There is no option C, there is only one A and B. Okay. I too felt that this meeting was simply on the next level than what we saw in the previous meeting. And all congratulations to you, youth leaders, for making it happen. Because I have been trying to note down some recommendations, but I couldn't find much. Okay, I always try to point out something to give recommendations, but no. I do have some points, but not very significant. Maybe 1 or 2 significant points, but otherwise I truly felt, and I'm so happy to see that you all, each of you youth leaders present out here, you all have taken it in the right way, and you all are there on the right track. First of all, a huge round of applause to the youth leader of the day for taking today's session simply to the next level, and she has set a benchmark. Believe me, it is a benchmark for us when we conduct our club meetings. One of the really commendable things which we noticed today, even before the meeting started, was that generally what happens is I am the person who comes and opens the door out here. But I could see there were few youth leaders, especially Ryan, the Sergeant at Arms, who was here much before we came. Wonderful attitude, I must say. And the first thing he told us that you are late. So we really appreciate that, because that's the kind of attitude we want you all to have. Although the meeting starts at 4 o'clock, he could have been here only by 3:45. But the best part was he came here. I reached here at 3:35. Before that, he came here, and he's the one who arranged the seats for you to sit today. So, really commendable approach from the Sergeant at Arms. Another thing, today's session, I believe, was the first where the international speech sessions had started, right?
Yes.
Excuse me. So that is something, actually, when you look at it, it's the next level of your icebreaker speeches, because icebreaker speeches is something where you get accustomed to the environment, right? And international speeches, I must say, all the speakers of the international speech, you had really prepared well. But again, one thing that we have again noticed is some of you, not everyone, have been looking on the paper and reading it. But although you were looking at the paper and reading it, the way you presented was good. So please make sure that you come here, stand here and speak whatever you can without the paper. Okay? And for the secretary in the next meeting, please do read out the minutes of meeting. Alright, so once the meeting is called to order, then the secretary has to come and read the minutes of the previous meeting. So please, you also have to mention the meeting. This is meeting number 5. So you have to read it as minutes of meeting for meeting number 5. Okay. So these were some of the really commendable and good things that we could notice in today's meeting. But having said that, as the general evaluator and all you evaluators say, there are room for improvement always. Okay, please take this only as the steps for improving yourself and the session as a whole. Some of the speeches when we heard, what we could understand is you all are, not all, some of you were using some words which you yourself are not able to pronounce properly. Please avoid them, because as we always say, this is not a platform to improve your English language. If you want to speak confidently, first thing is you got to be comfortable when you stand here. So when you are speaking something, speak that you can speak. In the sense, you go to the podium when you are facing the audience and giving your speech. Use simple language. Use the language, or rather, use English language that is more comfortable to you. But having said that, you got to be grammatically correct. All those basic stuff has to be looked upon, and as far as possible, use simple words which you are comfortable using. Okay. And one thing, in fact, 2-3 days back, our president had put out this message in the group that you all have to be you have to come up front, and at least the speakers, like you, there are international speech. All of you are giving international speech in the coming session, right? Most of, I think around eight of you. So all of you, please give your speech titles well in advance to the to the VP Education or to the Youth Leader of the Day, either of them. Because the Youth Leader of the Day will pass on the speech titles to the VP Education. He has to prepare the agenda. So by the time the agenda is rolled out, the speech titles have to be received by the Youth Leader of the Day and the VP Education. They will do the rest of it. Okay? So what I mean to say is, your speech has to be ready by this weekend. Only then you will be able to give your speech titles the next week, right? So please prepare accordingly, because it's just 1 week for your international speech. So please prepare properly. Just last one is, in the TT sessions, please understand the topic very well. Understand how many, because there were few topics where it was asked what and why. Some of them did not answer why. Okay, so please understand the question properly and attempt it. You have 15 seconds to think about the topic. Don't directly jump into it. Understand what you have to say, think about it, and speak. And you all are very good speakers. None of you have thankfully none of you have any problems as far as usage of English language is concerned. So please do your best. Stick to those basic concepts when you go into any of the sessions. And I'm sure you all can do much better than what you have done today. Okay? Thank you so much. And we all look forward to much better performances in the coming sessions. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manu Jambal, for your amazing words. Now I request our vote counter Youth Leader Afan Muhammad Ashraf, Youth Leader Shivata Sangal, to come to the lectern and announce places, and presiding officer. The best icebreaker and international speakers are: first place goes to Youth Leader Radin Muhammad. The second speaker goes to Youth Leader Ahlam Zahra. Third speaker award goes to Youth Leader Rayan Jafar. TD Speaker Award goes to, first place goes to Youth Leader Gilbert Titus. And Youth Leader Roshan Shanwas. Second TT Speaker Award goes to Youth Leader Harshil Nishal. Third TT Speaker goes to Youth Leader Aina Anjum and Youth Leader Fadi Rahman. The best evaluator speaker goes to first place Youth Leader Aina Anjum. Second place goes to Youth Leader Gilbert Titus. all the speakers, and my dear assignees. Dear youth leaders, it has been a real pleasure and privilege to be your youth leader of the day. I would like to thank all my assignees and all the good hearts who guided me and our team wisely to build this meeting. My special thanks to our presiding officer, Youth Leader Krishna Pramod, and Vice President Education, Youth Leader Abdullah P. for this opportunity. Over to you, presiding officer.
Okay, good evening, Hello. Good evening once again, 4X. This is my fourth time again, so yeah. Before I give my remarks about the meeting, let's talk business and let's invite our VPE to announce the next meeting's assignees. And yeah.
Respected Toastmasters, fellow youth leaders, and all parents who came here to watch the awards performance, a warm good evening to all of you. Good evening. It was an ecstatic session, and I will be saying the roles of some youth leaders for the next session. The youth leader of the day will be Saad Saudas. The board master and the grammarian will be Aina Anjur. The general evaluator will be Abid Ansar. The international speech, the general evaluator. The international speech speakers will be Youth Leader Hayan Haris, Youth Leader Samar Shamir, Youth Leader Krishna Pramod, Youth Leader Rida Fasmin, Youth Leader Fadi Rahman, Youth Leader Sadaf Parveen, Youth Leader Shadab Ansari. I would like to thank all parents who supported by switching silent mode on to avoid disturbance during the session, waiting for an aesthetic speech session again. Thank you. Over to you.
Fifth and good evening to all. Okay, so two thanks I have to say. First to the VPE who introduced all the assignees for the next meeting in a very efficient way. And also thank you Aisha for moving the meeting in such a nice and smooth way. That was an ecstatic meeting. I felt all the speakers and assignees filled with positive thoughts, and all of them with their beautiful, inspiring and well-felt speeches. All of the assignees too carried out their segments with much joy, courage, and the youth leader of the day was also very energetic. Today's session was a blast to sit through and listen to all the youth leaders' speeches and listen to each one's stories and experiences. To be honest, I found the session to be entertaining and fun. Overall, very good meeting, and I'm looking forward to attend the next session of this wonderful platform to listen all of your speeches again. Now I would like to hand over the control to distinguished Toastmaster Manoj Uncle to take care of the final procedures.
We can give TT to parents.
Yes.
TT, ready?
Thank you.
First start from the president father. TT session.
Thank you, presiding officer and the YLP president, youth leader Krishna Pramod. Now that we have almost come to an end, we would like to hear from few of the parents as we will not take much of a time. It's again a TT session for the parents. Just 2 minutes, and sir, please let us begin with you to have your feedback about the whole session.
This kind of feedback is our energy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rao. I'm father of Krishna Pramod, your youth leader president. So I'm so happy to see you all. So last time also I came in the last few minutes. So Today we were in a small session from the morning, but I want to see full session today. I came late today as well. So it was a beautiful session, and I love to see children, expressing in a beautiful way. And it's a really good platform to improve themselves. And definitely, it's a positive thing. It's really a good foundation for you, for your future. It's not, which is not not there in our times, to be frank. It's a good thing. You should use this platform in a very critical way. So it is a stepping stone to your success. Okay, at your such a young age, you people are, you can remember all your fears and all the stage fear and everything. And also on the spot, they are giving the topics and your mind is ready in 10-15 seconds, which even we cannot do at this stage. The moment these people call me, I'm blank. But anyway, I learned from you people only, really, to get ready in 10 seconds or 15 seconds. It's a really good thing. Use this platform very nice, and it can improve a lot. It's a really good thing, sir. I'm happy to see you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for that very genuine and encouraging feedback. Next, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Shahida Shanwas. Okay. Let me call upon Mr. Nishad Nambiar, father of youth leader Harshil. Please, sir.
Please.
Hi everyone. Good evening. Actually, this is a great, good platform for everyone. While I am studying over my ages, I didn't get this kind of platform. So this is a very good platform. Please use it and develop your speeches and skills. And this team, they are doing their effort, and this is really appreciated. They are spending much time for this kind of things. This is really appreciable. Thanks, this much only I can say right now.
Thank you so much, sir. Last but not the least, I can see someone hiding behind her husband. Okay, let me call upon today's workshop presenter himself, DTM Biju CR, who has been a great pillar as far as Periyar Toastmasters Club is concerned. Ever since this session has started this time, I believe you have come here for the first time, and we would like to hear from you.
Good evening once again, dear youth leaders and parents and my dear Toastmasters and friends.
Good evening.
It was indeed an ecstatic session for me. Very nice word to use. And I've seen that tremendous improvement. Even I cannot say that you are a youth leader. Now itself you are the leaders. Every activity you participated here, your passion, the glow in your eyes, the passion on your eyes was really visible, and that itself shows that how committed you are to this program. And you are blessed kids, that's why you get an opportunity to develop yourself. And most beautiful thing, most impressive thing what I felt is the table topic session. It's really challenging to stand on the podium and speak on your shoes, on beat. That is very, very challenging. and most of the 90% the youth leaders were performed excellently well. And that was the toughest task in the youth leaders and Toastmasters that you have beautifully done. And there is only one simple suggestion or improvement point of view I would suggest to you, that is for mentors. Please approach the mentors, please go to them, and every mentors are self-initiative or willing to teach you or train you or mentor you. So please approach the mentors so that they can guide you better and better. And I am so unlucky this time, due to my job concern, I could not be able to participate with the Periyar Youth Leadership Program. I am really missing that. And other than that, I really appreciate and congratulate the Periyar team. They are doing the wonderful job. Keep continuing this, and you, the wonderful kids, please grab that opportunity and excel well. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, DTM Biju, for those words. You have always been encouraged. You have always encouraged us to move ahead with confidence. Thank you so much. Before I end this session, any of the parents out here who are who would like to come down and speak for 2 minutes? Yes, sir. You? Yes, please. Toastmaster.
Good evening, all of you. This platform you have to utilize, and the team over here is making a lot of efforts to mold you people. And in my initial stages, I never had this type of opportunity, and I feel it's a great platform for improving the public speaking and leadership skills, and everyone has to take that opportunity. In my childhood, I never had this type of opportunities. I have also joined Periyar Toastmasters for thanks to all the team, and all the best to all of you.
Just for their information, he is going to break his ice on our next meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Narayanan, for those words. So, with that, let me end today's session.
Photograph.
And all the youth leaders, please come forward for a photograph session. And with this, I adjourn the meeting.
Please.
Gilbert.
So after that, we will all take one more.
Okay, please.
Smile. Okay. Don't cry. Jaldi. That's enough. Chal.
He never next. So we cannot do like this.
Smile.
Smile.
Okay.
See, this is the photo I am putting in our WhatsApp group. Every time I am changing. Okay, so.
Thank you all.
That's it. Arjun. Manoj.
Stupid guy.
Ready? Smile.
Just a parent.